Back in my weed smoking days, I had the mentality that if I stayed high, I never had to get high. And I know that may sound crazy to people who don't smoke or people who only smoke on occasion, but that was completely normal to me. And what's more, I hear people say, "Oh, you sound like an addict," but in my mind, I say I'm not an addict because I'm not even smoking as much as I want to smoke. Like I didn't have enough money to buy the amount of weed that I wanted. Because back then I was getting like a 3.5 at a time, an eighth. I can't even remember if an eighth and a 3.5 are the same thing anymore. But that was my routine. But during those weed smoking days, my job opportunities were kind of limited because all these places were piss testing. So I was working for a temp service, and they had me working in this warehouse, pulling orders, and all they held in that warehouse was toys for Hasbro. So my first day showing up there is an overnight job. We pull up late in the afternoon, and the guy starts talking like, "Yo, who's gonna be my top picker tonight?" And when he said that, I was like, "Is he serious?" I said, "Well, I know it ain't gonna be me. This sound like some slavery." So not only was I working overnight, these weird hours, getting home and being tired and trying to go to sleep, but people doing daytime activities, it wasn't paying well enough. So eventually I decided, okay, I got to get something new. So I went to another temp service to see what they had. Now I went in there just with the intention of filling out the application and letting them call me to see what they had available. I did not expect to have to take a piss test that day. So when I went in there, the lady's like, "Yeah, if you fail the piss test, you have to wait a year before you can apply again." So I went in there, pissed in the cup, put the little test in there. Cocaine came up negative. Methamphetamine came up negative, all that stuff. But that weed line, that THC line was strong. So I saw that, walked back out, looked at the lady. I said, "Well, guess I'll see y'all next year." And I went to leave to walk out. She's like, "Whoa, whoa, hold on. What do you mean?" So she told me to follow her. We went back to the bathroom. She looked at the test, saw that it was positive on weed but negative on everything else. So she tells me to, dump it out in the toilet and come on back. So she waved me back to the guy who does like the interviews, and I got a job. I started working at a trucking company on their dock. Now, I shouldn't have had that job, but because this black woman looked out for me, I was able to get that job. And not only that, because I got that job, I was able to transfer when I moved down to Florida. I say all that to say, sometimes you don't see the domino effects of these things happening. Because that woman, waved me on to the back, she looked out for me. That helped put me in the position that I am right now. I'm still in Florida, living in a new city. I'm in Jacksonville now. But had I not got that job at that first trucking company that had facilities down here in Orlando, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, that's an example of being able to look back at your life and see how things are working out in your favor, even if you don't realize that they are.